Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why being healthy isn't optional. This is really important. I mean, if you're an observant person, you can go to any public place, you can go to the mall or some busy shopping area that you frequent and just watch the people walking by. And you'll notice that the majority of the people walking by, they look unhealthy as hell. They probably have giant big bags or sacks under their eyes. They're overweight. They're probably hunched over. They just, like, their faces just look like they're unhappy and they're just not feeling real well. And one of the things that I've learned over my life, because I spent almost 3 decades of my life suffering from hay fever, allergies, the common cold, the flu. I mean, I just had a really bad problem. I mean, the symptoms I grew up with, there were hundreds of days of my life where I can remember just snot rolling out of my nose, no matter how many times I blow it, no matter how raw my nose got, it just kept pouring out. And when I was younger and I didn't know all this stuff, and until I got older, I suffered with symptoms tremendously. It's like anytime somebody got a cold, I got sick. At least 2-3 times a year, I got the flu, where I was sick for a couple of weeks, where you just got that mucus that comes out of your nose. It's like trying to blow rubber bands of snot out of your nose, where it's like really unpleasant. But can you imagine just suffering from that? I used to get like really bad rashes as a kid, to the point where it's just because of the sugars and the stuff that I was eating, that just because of my genetics, all that stuff got pushed to the skin, because your skin's your biggest organ of elimination. And because I was eating so much of it, and your body is basically a giant battery, all that stuff just kept getting drawn to the same area. And so I'd have these festering, pussy wounds that were just, like, I remember when I was in middle school, I had them in the backs of my legs. And so when I would sit down in class, the pus that was oozing out would harden. And so I'd get up and I'd have to literally rip my jeans away or my pants away from the backs of my legs, because it was painful to walk like that. I'd wake up in the morning stuck to my sheets, and my parents were like, "Oh, just put some calamine lotion on that, you'll be fine. You don't need to go to a doctor. That'll go away." And I would suffer like tremendously for months and months, sometimes years at a time, with having, I'd have rashes. They'd be on my foot or the backs of my legs or on my arm, and they'd be there for months and months. And sometimes I had some of them that were I'd have for a year and a half, 2 years, and it just stayed there, and it was just something that I got used to. And so when you go from, being constipated was another thing that I suffered with. And when I was in my late 20s, I was almost, I think it was like close to 190, I think it was, and a size 34 in the waist. And I'm like, I should be a size 30, 31, maybe 32 tops when I'm in, great physical shape. And I was sluggish. I remember the energy, I was terrible. I remember I back then I still ran and I exercised, but I couldn't run any more than 15 minutes at a time without feeling like I was about to hack up a lung. And so I remember when I made some modifications in my diet, just cutting out fried foods, drinking sodas, Cokes, sugary drinks, and all that stuff. I cut out soft drinks altogether. I cut out pork, red meat. And within 2 weeks, I was able to run 45 minutes just by simply changing my diet. I was eating more turkey and more fish, and just less of all. I stopped eating fried foods. It was a big change in things I just cut out. And over the course of doing nothing more than changing my diet over a period of about 6 months, I lost almost 30 pounds of just fat that was all over my body. I lost several sizes in my pants. I had to buy a whole new wardrobe, and it was an amazing experience. And over the years, as I learned more and more, I learned from experts like Dr. Robert Young and Dr. Donald Epstein. Some of these guys are like cutting edge in what they do as far as diet, and like Dr. Epstein with network chiropractic adjustments for keeping your frame aligned. It's just amazing, the quality of life. I can skate by on 4 to 6 hours of sleep sometimes now, and it's not a big deal. I don't feel tired or sluggish. And you see most people, they'll sleep 8 to 10 hours and they still feel like they need to sleep more. But it's an amazing feeling when you exercise properly, like me, I run 5 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week of running, and I try to get 4 to 5 days a week of weights in, for anywhere from 15 minutes to 30-minute workouts, depending on the body part that I'm doing. And I'll try to get adjusted at least 1 to 2 times a week by a good network chiropractic doctor. Because it's when I don't do those things, when I don't work out, I don't exercise, I don't juice vegetables, I try to get 3 to 4 glasses of green, healthy, fresh green vegetable juice every day. Like the article that I wrote titled Rediscovered the Fountain of Youth, where I talk about a great recipe for juicing. I mean, just adding that to your diet. And obviously, before you make any changes in your diet and your exercise, you need to consult with your doctor. But when you make these simple, subtle changes gradually over time, it's just the energy that you feel, the weight loss that you see, the how it makes your eyesight better, it makes your skin softer, it makes you sharper. I mean, think about it this way. It's really hard to focus on your dreams and your goals in life when you're suffering with debilitating symptoms of being sick or having the flu or having headaches or aches or pains or low energy. I mean, think about it this way. Trying to if you're like an older guy like me, I'm 42, if I usually end up dating younger women, if you're out of shape and you like to date younger women like I do, you're going to have a very hard time keeping up with them and satisfying them in the bedroom if you're out of breath after a minute or two of sex. I mean, your quality of life is going to suffer. It's hard to have a great date with a really great gal when you feel like shit internally, or you're having to cancel a date because you got a cold or the latest flu that seems to be going around with your coworkers. And so it's an immense change in the quality of your life. I mean, if you've got, because one thing I focus on more than anything is my health, because I have a lot of painful memories of symptoms and rashes and runny noses and embarrassing situations with all that stuff entails. I mean, it just sucks to wake up every day and to be constantly sniffling and trying to suck back in snot when you're sitting in class, when you're in grade school or elementary school or even college. It's a fucking miserable existence. And so that's why I encourage you to read Dr. Young's books, The pH Miracle, or Dr. Donald Epstein's books that he has written, and apply the things that they teach. I mean, Thomas Edison said over 100 years ago, the doctor of the future will spend the majority of his time teaching people the causes and the prevention of disease, teaching them the proper diet, and focusing on making sure his frame is properly aligned. Because if your nervous system and your structural frame is out of alignment, then the nerves that connect your brain to all your body's vital organs, your brain can't talk to those organs when the nerves are all pinched because of muscle tension or subluxation in the different vertebrae of the spine. And subluxation is when the vertebra twists and it pinches off the nerves. A lot of people, where they have places they're disconnected from physically in their body, that's where disease, cancer, and things like that show up in that part of the body. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located in the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenges. And just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. I obviously got to focus on their emails first, but be patient, I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.